Good afternoon. We're back with you here today, and anyway, a couple 3 days ago, we were doing a some of our findings that Mary Sue found on her adventures, and one of which was she found an M1-A M14 magazine, and I mentioned that I could do a whole video on magazine authentication. So this is what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to go through with you on some of these magazines and what to look for, and what not to look for as far as being a true GI mag. So there's various manufacturers of these magazines for the M1-A and M14. Military manufacturers, contractors, and they usually are going to have a code on them from the manufacturer, but some of them will not, and I will show you some of the examples of what to look for, and when you're out there and you see a magazine for M1-A and M14, whether it would be authentic or whether it would be not so good, because there's a lot of aftermarket copies of the magazines on these, and they did not work. And I've had 30 years of this. These magazines that I have go back 30 years whenever I got them, when I was M14, M1-A, high power. So, and I keep gathering them, but I took a few of these out of my archival stuff in order to show you how they were packaged. So let's get on with it, and there'll be a few other tips that I can give you. So some of your manufacturer's names here, the codes on here, like you'll have an A. Well, that would tell you that would be a Harrington and Richardson magazine. They also made some components for the M14. So if you got the letter A stamped on the front of the magazine or the back of the magazine, you've got the real McCoy. Okay, another code would be OM. Now that's Olin Matheson Chemical Company, which would be which was a subsidiary of Winchester Western. All right, so you got that. Also, we have you'll have a code of BRW, and that would be Borg Warner. And most of the magazines that we have are Borg Warner. So they'll be identified as BRW, and these particular ones, they say S-1. I highlighted it, but the stamping is like 1/16 of an inch tall. Also, the stampings might be upside down, or they might be right side up. Here's a BRW S1 right side up. Here's a BRW S1 upside down. So that's another thing to kind of like, it don't make any difference really. So anyway, also we got one marked W, and some of these that are marked W, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a Winchester. They would also mean that they would be a Borg Warner. And here's a new end wrap, and let's say 1963, February. Hasn't seen the light of day since then. And some of these I have taken out would have W on them, on the back, like this. And also, you can tell by the designation right here, and W, so that would indicate Borg Warner. So, there's other contractors that were in the business. You know, we got the Colleen Machine Tool Company. I don't have an example of them, nor do I have the Union Hardware Company, an example of that either. But here are some of the main contractors as of 30 years ago and before. Well, going back almost 60 years on some of these. Now, I've got some of these mags that are directly from Springfield Armory, but they are not marked as such. But I know that they are because I bought these brand new from Springfield, but they are not marked SA for Springfield Armory. But on your latch plate that engages into your locking mechanism on your magazine catch, you'll see that they're exactly the same as all of the other military contract mags. And that's one thing that would be indicative to identify these as the real McCoy. If you just get the real McCoy, something to compare with an unmarked magazine, well then you'll know where to go. This particular magazine, I found this on the bombing range between Ajo and Gila Bend. I stumbled up across it. It's sun patinaed, been out there, and anyway, it does work. Also, here's a different way of, I showed you these. These are February 1963, Borg Warner. And here's one, 1971, which has this wrapping around it, which is fiberglass sheet, and then you have a foil liner on it. 1971. So these were destined for Vietnam before they discontinued the M-14 program. So I'll show you this one more time. You know, you can pause on this, and some of the contractors that were making these magazines, 30 years ago, that you could buy them, they were available. There's probably some that I would really avoid the aftermarket magazines, because every time I've ever had one, they fail, and they'll cost you your life. They'll get you killed. So another thing is, if you can't have more than 5 magazines, here's what you can do. You can do the bandoliers and your stripper clip guide, where you take your stripper clip, 5-round stripper clip here. I can't get this one out. Here we go. And index them there and zip them in. So you, instead of, if you don't have enough mags, carry bandoliers with stripper clips, and especially your guides. These are very coveted now because they're hard to find. So I hope that has helped you, and maybe we can save some lives here with you know, people getting bad magazines and they have to have it, and you know, that's not a very good thing. Get the best that you can get, and get examples of the real thing so you can compare just how what they should be like. I'm going to close off for right now, and have a good day. We'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.